If you didn't sit down, there he is.
Dave,
All
I
right.
want a round of applause.
Yeah.
Bryce Hall, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, my local BFFs?
So, Bryce, you were on the first episode of this, correct? Right?
Was it the first?
I think second.
All right, second episode.
Second.
Yeah.
And then I don't really know what happened. So we have all the background. And Josh and I have talked on the side. You guys are obviously buddies. Josh and I are buddies now. Brianna and I are buddies. So I don't really know what fucking happened between us. But I think you truly don't like me. Am I right about?
I've said this off camera a bunch of times. I don't hate you. I just kind of
start.
I was trolling. I'm completely trolling on the internet.
So, all right, then here's the question, because in the basics, and I don't think I missed any of it. You were on the second episode, fine, no issues. We have Alex from Call Her Daddy on, and she's going through all the Sway Boys, say you look like Sid from Ice Age, and then that kind of like started it, I think. Like, and almost thought it was a joke, and I thought you were in on it, trolling all that. The only thing that changed is at one point, and I'm sure you know, Josh like texted me on the side, and he was serious, like, we can't talk about Bryce anymore. I'm like, why? What's going on?
One point. There was one point where I was not too fond of both of you. Yeah. So
what pissed you off? Because I look back, it's like I didn't even say anything really that would make me, and it seemed like you bust balls, all that. So I missed when it got to an edge. You were like, "Fuck these guys," or "Fuck Dave." Like, what set you off that you're like, "What the fuck? What are they talking about?"
It was mainly the beef that it was. I wouldn't even say it was beef between us, but it was the tension between us. We weren't as friendly as we were before the podcast, and then you guys making the jokes about me, and I'm like, I'm not even cool with that, you know?
So that was something that had nothing to do with this. You're saying you guys had tension before this started?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
like off camera stuff, actually, about mainly just like YouTube and everything.
YouTube content.
Yeah, YouTube content.
Paths.
Just like both our paths were so aligned usually for like the last year and a half, and then they kind of went very differently. So then it just kind of started like this head clashing kind of behind the scenes.
Okay, so that makes a little more sense, because that's why I was so like, I don't know what the fuck he's mad about. And that's, I did the tissue paper because like, dude, Alex called him Sid the Sloth. I don't even think I've said anything beyond that, like negative about him. There was a little bit, like you went off on me on Twitter where I was like, whoa, he's fucking mad. And that was like our social media account, Kareem, who's in, I think he said something like between Addison Rae and like Little Yachty or something, right? Was there something with that? And I didn't even know what the fuck that was.
There was some Twitter beef. I like to go off on Twitter when someone goes off on me. So when you were constantly coming at me and like your team was coming at me, I loved it. I loved every second of it, and I was responding to all of it, just kind of shooting all of your guys' insults down.
So that's where, though, it got confusing, because that's how I would have seen it. Like, okay, he's on social media, he's doing his thing, but then, like, while that was happening, I was getting the side messages legitimately from Josh being like, just try to avoid him. It's like, well, how do I avoid him? Because he's talking about us, so we got to talk about him. That's where I got confused, because that's where it's like, wait, no, he's serious. He's like, look at the, and I am an old guy, but I'm fucking not as old as you're making out. You're out in like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, like 30 years every time I fucking go. So
it was like every tweet, it was like an extra 5 years.
No, it was. It was
awesome.
always doing that intentionally.
So now, going back on it, was the T-Talk thing, was that a stem of, because were you guys doing that together, or was that just you, Josh?
No, that was both of us, but that wasn't
no.
a part of anything. This is kind of like T-Talk. So
right. I mean, well, I know Josh, at one point when we started this, he was sort of like, you know what, I'm going to phase out of T-Talk because this thing was starting to like get some legs, and I didn't know if that was part of what caused like an issue at all.
No, I think like the T-Talk as well. Like it
was making everything different. Like that was okay.
Yeah. T-Talk was like, we were filming together fine. That was the one thing we were still doing together that was kind of like normal. So I don't think T-Talk really was a negative at all.
So then, all right, and you guys explained it. The tension was your career paths were going different and just different roads?
Yeah, it's like Bryce is obviously like, he's a king at entertainment, right? Like that's his path 100%. It's like the YouTube, being so up and energized, like he can do that really great. I'm more of, I'm some of that entertainment stuff and doing this podcast and everything, but I'm also like an entrepreneur. So I focused a lot on the business side. So it was just kind of our like we said, like our paths just kind of went off in different directions.
So was there already tension the first time that I met you guys at the Sway House? The first time I met you, Josh, as well, and we were just saying, was there already tension at that point?
No, I don't think so at all.
So then what's changed that now, like, Bryce, you're here and seeming like chill? Like, did you guys patch it up or something?
Well, we also had a full agreement. I said we would film if he filmed my first PAU club video, because everyone was asking why we stopped filming together, and we kind of just gave half-assed answers. We went in full depth on the PAU club, which I've first launched. So that was my first video, and then I said in return he'll come on this podcast.
So you guys are like fucking negotiating behind this. It's almost like, how can we help each other, and you don't want to give each other, like, is that fair to say then? Like, well,
I mean, it's a mutual benefit relationship.
Yeah,
right.
And I think also, like, when you go from somewhere that's like has tension at the start, it was just like, it also, like, you got to kind of like slowly go back into it, you know?
Yeah, and I guess I could see, based on what you're saying, Bryce, your point's like, fuck you, why am I going to help your podcast? Like, what do you, it's almost like, how are you guys going to help each other? Which is crazy. I actually think that's pretty interesting from like an outsider perspective. And I assume that's not just you two. I assume that's everybody in this world looking at each other, eyeballing each other, being like, well, if I'm going to build your brand, you got to make sure I like, it's got to be a yin and yang. Is that fair to say?
I wouldn't say everybody's like that.
Yeah.
I would
feel
say
like
the smarter people are like that.
And how do you judge that? This will be like kind of personal, because everyone you ask, Bryce, it's like, who's the number one person on social media, TikTok? It's Addison. So like, is that something that's ever, because you obviously date her, that seems like a real fucking thing, but she's also huge for your personal brand because you're dating her.
Yeah, no, she's my girlfriend. So I mean, there's no. Are you saying in a competitive way?
No,
I think he means like. If I'm getting what you're saying, Dave, I think you're meaning like, if people are using each other in friendships, are people using each other in like relationships too?
Yes, a little bit. Like, do you ever think that, like, she's so big that, like, if she's like, hey, want to jump in, and obviously you're dating, but like, there's no other person from what I've gathered who right now
gets
has
views
going
like
back to like
Yeah.
the heights. Yeah,
We don't talk about numbers much. I started talking to her before she was even, Addison Ray. Her Instagram was still Addison Easterling.
she had a different name back then.
She had 43,000 followers. I thought she was attractive, so I was like, yo, what's up?
She came to Bryce's place back in the summer of like 2019. Like, it was like way
It was like,
before
I think it was October or September.
Does she fucking hate this podcast?
She does.
And by the way, that when you want to go to Michael Gruen, and I don't want to drag him in, but him saying he can get people on the show, he's always like, we can get Addison's like mother on the show. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think we're going to be able to get anybody related. But that's one of his people he throws out there, because is she a celebrity too, right? In some
yeah, her
ways,
mom's popping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
her mom's getting more Instagram likes than most of the Sway boys now.
Yeah, it's kind of sad on the Sway Boys part.
Get Addison on here. It's like Nessa. Nessa didn't like me in the beginning. She likes me now. Once you get on the fucking podcast, everyone likes everybody. It becomes a big fucking kumbaya family. Yeah, so I mean, I kind of thought that's how this would go. It kind of disarms it when it turns out the people. Why didn't you say? Did you know that, Josh? When I'm like, why is he? Because I kept asking you I'm like, why is he so fucking mad? Like, what? I don't even understand what we're talking about here.
Well, at the start, I think it was kind of like we were figuring it out. So I didn't really know like where our position was, like how, like between me and Bryson, it was weird. So I didn't really want to also like come on the podcast and just air out and be like, yeah, me and Bryce are like
just puts
beefing
everything
right now. Yeah, it's like, I just didn't want to
media.
come out and say that, because I knew there was still, it probably was just going to make it more, it was going to negatively affect it if I just
And
said
it was pretty obvious to like the common Joe that there was tension. We were filming every single YouTube video together, and then we just randomly stopped.
out of nowhere. And it was like for 3 months in a row.
Yeah.
Probably.
So our world doesn't know that. Like, I didn't know that because I'm so new to this world. And I don't think most of the people who follow us, most of the people who follow us were just like, yo, what's this fucking kid's problem? Like, why is he so bent out of shape? Did you get a lot of blowback from our crowd at all, or not really, Bryce?
Blowback, like a lot of
So like
hate.
just people chirping you?
Oh, I mean, on the TikTok that I posted, remember the YouTube video that I did?
The pizza.
I posted, yeah, no, the one after that.
The when you
Like,
were doing pool and everything.
Yeah.
Remember when you was like,
Yeah,
and
so
you, like,
that
threw
one, I
the-
posted the snippet on TikTok, and all the comments were calling me snowflake, tissue paper, all that shit. So I was like, all right.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
the
get
Barstool-
it both ways.
Dude, I didn't realize you have such a strong TikTok fan audience now.
no,
They put me
Dave
in
just
jail.
got no, but Dave just got out of jail from TikTok. Like they literally, all his videos were going so crazy at the start of this podcast. Like you should have, like every video he was posting was millions of views.
Wait, what do you
all
mean
of a sudden,
jail?
like shadow ban.
Oh.
So then
Like, I was
shadow
like, I get,
ban
like,
them,
10
his videos
videos
and shit,
for
and
it.
then recently they're just going crazy again. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah,
It's weird.
I get shot. Well, you're not allowed to bully. I don't know if they thought we were like, we put up a video and get it like taken down. I mean, you had to, even though I still think the best video our people ever made was the Disney song.
Yeah.
That's-
Driver's
that
The
was-
license.
driver's license video. Did you
Oh,
see
the
that?
driver's yeah. I
Where
did.
like you're kind of like crying and you're
Yeah.
the good, maybe the best.
That
I
was
saw
the
that.
best
That was
one.
pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
That
great.
was
Was that
good on
Vin
the
Dog?
team. No, I don't know who made that. The Vin Dog. The Vin Dog's a weapon. You can't go at the Vin Dog.
No, I was gonna say I was gonna give him props if he made that one.
No, he didn't make that's
No.
way above his
Vin Dog's Twitter.
Yeah, Vin Dog's Twitter, and Vin Dog makes his own, like, he makes live action memes.
Yeah,
where,
little
like,
quick ones.
yeah, and he'll film himself like in the bathroom, his kid like flushing the thing, and
He'll
put your
literally
head.
take his kid and just make it like shove his kid's head into the toilet to make a meme, just so he can like do something with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He's live action memeing. All right, I think that settled. Brianna, you got any questions? I mean, I think that kind of settles it. Again,
I noticed Brianna. Yo, Brianna, what's good?
What do you mean?
You
What's
were
good?
you
What's
were
up?
throwing shots more than Dave.
When? What did I say?
I
Oh,
heard
shit.
so many shots. I watched the podcast. I hear you. Like usually,
He's a fan. Yeah.
usually it gets spoken over, but you're like, "Fuck that guy." Yeah, no. Fuck.
Well,
why is he
because-
being so soft,
Because
pussy?
it seemed like you were like actually fucking upset with Dave, and I was like, dude, come on, you can't actually be mad at him or Alex. Like I was kind of upset with you. I thought you were better.
I could
but you
understand
are.
Alex more than Dave.
No, I wasn't even really mad at.
You were just
Alex.
trolling. You were just trolling for the internet.
Yeah, no.
Well, no,
No,
he was fucking mad. That's what
at
made it
one
weird.
point-
But
at one
what
point,
we're getting now is it was more like the dynamic between like Josh
Me and Bryce, yeah.
Because there's, listen, I've met plenty of guys who are like sensitive or whatever. Josh, I mean, Bryce doesn't never came across that, but it was incapable. Like Brianna would say it off camera, like he can't be mad. What's the meanest thing we've said is
Yeah,
that
I couldn't believe it. I was
it
like,
made
he's
no
not mad.
sense, but you did seem really mad, and you were mad, so it just made no sense. That's why what is wrong with this fucking dude? Makes a little more sense that there's background stuff we didn't know about.
I guess this just in: the party animal is tissue paper.
It has feelings. It's like
Yeah,
you know,
maybe he has a sensitive side that the world didn't know about.
He's emotional.
Now,
You know?
fuck that. Fuck that.
Do you
No,
really
never
get
mind.
mad when people? The other thing, do you really get mad, or is this just trolling when guys like hit on Addison online? Because that's another.
Oh, do
thing
I
we
get
hear.
mad about the Addison? Oh, never. No, there's never like any like anger towards that.
You,
Like with
you
Yachty,
never
I was-
get jealous at all. Like just a little mad, because like
with
it's hard,
Yachty.
it's hard not to get just like.
Here,
a
I'll
little
use
mad.
Yachty as the example. Yachty, no, I saw that as like an opportunity to get
Just-
some press.
Right.
It's like Lil Yachty makes a song about my girlfriend. Of course, I'm gonna shade him on Twitter. That's funny.
Right, because you're confident enough in your relationship, so it's like
it's like I don't think
happen.
I zero doubt in my mind that that Addison will leave me. For,
Right. So then you just get the views that they pretty much bring you. So essentially, they're just helping you by talking.
Yeah,
about
and then
getting
me
with
and
your
Lil
girl.
Yachty, we went on the Nelk podcast, or no, it wasn't the
Live
podcast.
stream,
It was
yeah.
the live stream, and then we were just going at it. It was so funny. I don't want actual beef with Lil Yachty. I'm pretty sure he's gang affiliated, so I don't really like. I'm not about that life at all.
What about what was this like? Was this on purpose too? This fake like dating thing that you did?
Oh, the Lauren Gray thing.
Oh yeah. That was. It was a failed attempt though.
Because they
people
caught
saw
you
the
on mic.
microphone, right?
The microphone, yeah.
All right, so that clears, I think, a lot of it. What do we want to play this? Is there anything else I forgot on the sheets that we want to clear with him?
I don't think so. It seems like
What-
you guys squashed the beef.